I'm Doug Massey, and today we're going to talk about the good old three-legged stool. This is a concept that was brought to my attention by, believe it or not, a lead vendor. And I love the term. I even asked for permission. Can I use the three-legged stool? He's like, sure, Doug, go ahead and use it in one of your videos. So here we are, guys. And before we get into it, basically the three-legged stool, what that is these three major things that you absolutely have to have, assuming you're a professional salesperson, a telesales pro, or basically a closer, and that's it. So we're assuming you're already that. These are those three things that you absolutely must have. And before we get into it, guys, please give the video a thumbs up and subscribe if you're a new viewer. We're putting out new insurance content and final expense sales training videos just like this one, like pretty much every week. And check this out. Stick around to the end of the video. I'm going to show you how to get a copy of both the last will and testament that I leave with all of our clients, everyone that I sell, and the medical questions page, which is a great underwriting tool. It's great for keeping your notes, whether you're selling remotely or doing the good old belly-to-belly sale. So let's talk about the first leg, leads. Very important. And guys, just an FYI, in case you haven't heard, a lot of the leads that agencies and agents are working today are actually not compliant. Now, the FCC, the Federal Communications Commission, is going to be, well, they're going to be breaking down on it, but they're saying they're not really going to be doing that until the beginning of next year. So we're talking January of 2025. And a lot of it has to do with not just robocalls, but with people being harassed. And then you've got this new one-to-one consent law, which real quick, I'll give you the short version. Basically what that means is when someone goes to fill out a lead form, they have to check a box stating that this person can call them. So for there to be more than one person calling, they're supposed to check multiple boxes for each person, actually, is the way they break it down. So I'm still a little confused if they're saying the agency is one entity and the agency can call, or if it's one person, but I'm pretty sure if you called someone at the FCC and said, hey, is it okay if all of the agents in my agencies calls this one lead? Is that okay? They're gonna tell you, no, that's exactly what they don't want. So let's be clear, guys. The idea of this one-to-one consent law is so that you can't share leads. Bottom line is this. If you're working a lead that's maybe, I want to say a couple months old, maybe someone else worked it, that's an illegal lead. If you're working, like a lot of these agencies have these, they got these diamond leads, these platinum plus leads. If it's a lead that anybody else has ever worked, it's illegal. Period. So you guys got to get used to this. And unfortunately, there are agencies, call centers that are doing these calls where they're calling over and over to these leads, and it's just crazy the way the damage that they're doing. They're basically just harassing the crap out of these people. And that's why the Federal Communications Commission decided to break this rule out and say, hey, no more, enough is enough. All right, with the legalities behind us, if you're doing telesales, leg one, the best leads are either going to be TV leads, which now as an independent agent, those TV leads are going for like $80+ each. In my opinion, the ROI is gone. I mean, I don't care how high your commission level is. If you're an agent and you're paying $80 for a TV lead, to me, the return on investment is just not going to be there. I mean, unless you are a really good closer. So let's talk about the second lead. The type of lead that we work is a system where basically where the client fills out a lead form online, and then the photo pops up of the insurance agent that they're going to be speaking with. And now they have a call now button, or they can set an appointment. So with a good system like this, and let's just be clear, let me brag for a minute. We've been told by other people that run systems like this that the way we're running it is just insane. Like nobody else can touch us, which is why right around 50% of the people that fill out a lead form actually set an appointment and then verify or confirm that appointment. So this is the type of lead that we see doing the best and that we think is the best lead. So again, you got the TV lead, and then you've got this internet appointment / call now type of option lead. And the idea is, because we can generate these leads for like $10 each and the appointments for like $20 each, and in a lot of cases, a lot less. Leg number two, the presentation script. Guys, over and over, I work with these agents where we give them our proprietary presentation, the script that we've literally worked on and changed over the past 7 years. And for whatever reason, the agents always want to do their own thing. Look, I'm telling you, you need a good, strong, solid presentation script. And what's messed up is a lot of agencies have these really generic scripts that are kind of terrible. There's a company out there that actually trains agents. They do for like $3,000 or $4,000 or $5,000. You can get this insurance sales training, and they give you scripts. And those scripts, for the one, I'm not going to name who it is, but they're just horrible. And I see agents trying to use these things, and they're our competitors. So I'm like, oh, okay, you can do that. But man, honestly, I wouldn't wish most of these scripts on my worst enemy. You know, the idea is they've got to have a very strong intro. Of course, you have to bring your energy into the presentation. You've got to immediately uncover the why, you know, the need. You got to talk about the beneficiary. You got to talk about what this is about. Of course, you got to get into building rapport. Very, very, very important. And value in the product and objections. Guys, we have a system that we teach our agents where basically we know, even with the best clients, they're going to say something like, well, I got to talk to my kids first after you give them the price, right? And then they're going to say, well, I still don't do anything until, you know, I first meet with someone. So we understand that that's normal. So we've actually been teaching our agents how to make this part of the presentation and application process. And you got to be able to do that. To me, that's all part of the presentation. So you got leg number one, leads. Leg number two, the presentation and how to properly use it. Leg number three, the right carriers and commission levels. Here's where I'm going to share like my favorite carriers. And let me just say, commission levels really need to be around 100 to 110% first year commission. That's just the first year. Renewals on these final expense products isn't too much, but you need to have that, at least that 100 to 110% for your main products, because without that, if you're paying for leads, the return on investment is simply not going to be there. So it's nice that at our agency, we do business right. We do start these higher contracts, these higher commissions for our agents. And we have, honest to goodness, we have like 15 carriers. So I'm not going to talk about 15 carriers. Let me talk about really, I want to say maybe my top 5. So the top 5 carriers that we use for final expense remote telesales are American Amicable. American Amicable, man, they've been working on this product for years. They really have got telesales down. I'm not going to get into why I love them so much, but the simple fact is, if you're an independent agent, you got to have American Amicable. SBLI, which is Savings Bank Mutual Life Insurance Company, they got a killer final expense product. They've been working on it. They got it down to where the underwriting is a little stricter than it was about a year ago when we started using it, but not much. And now they're doing true Social Security billing, so which American Amicable does too. And so does the third carrier, GTL, Guarantee Trust Life. Now, Guarantee Trust Life, what that is it's a graded product and they don't do any underwriting. So as long as your client answers no to all the questions, the client is approved. So you've got a competitive, graded, almost guaranteed issue product that I really love. And what GTL does is they've look, they couldn't really figure out exactly how to do true Social Security billing. So what they do is this. If your client gets paid on the first or the third, well, let me talk about the Wednesdays. If your client gets paid on the second Wednesday, third Wednesday, etc., they are going to draft it that way. They can do a second, third, fourth Wednesday draft. Now, if the client gets paid on the first or the third, what they will automatically do, whether your client is receiving Social Security or disability or not, is they will draft according to the Social Security billing calendar. You know, the calendar that Social Security gives out to people, lets them know when they're going to get paid their money on every month, the exact day. Because as you guys know, hopefully you do know this, if you're a professional final expense agent, you know there's months when the first and third will fall on a weekend or a holiday and your client actually gets paid the business day before. And so GTL is going to draft on that business day before. That way, the money's not sitting in the bank for 24 hours, giving the client an opportunity to basically make a mistake and spend their insurance money. So we got American Amicable, SBLI, GTL, and I still love Royal Neighbors of America. It's a really good product that has some really cool niches. And now what Royal Neighbors has done, they've actually gotten rid of the old product and they've introduced a new one. With this new product, it has a super competitive preferred rates it depends on the amount of insurance that you're purchasing. So your client can't get a $5,000 policy and get these super preferred rates. And I'm not gonna really get into the product too much, but at the end of the day, this Royal Neighbors of America, this new product is really nice. Again, they do the true Social Security billing, great company, basically run by women, for women, a lot of cool writers, a lot of cool sales points, just an awesome, awesome product. And the fifth company, I'm gonna have to put AIG back in there. So AIG, at the end of the day, they don't do true Social Security billing, but they will insure anybody from 50 to 80 years old. And I'm talking about their guaranteed issue product. It's competitive. That's the other thing I like about it. So those to me are like the 5 carriers you absolutely want. And if you've got all 5 of these carriers, you can insure most people that you would want to insure. So again, American Amicable, SBLI, GTL, Royal Neighbors of America, RNA, and AIG. And there you have it, guys. That is the 3-legged stool. So hopefully you got something out of this video. If you'd like a copy of the Last Will and Testament and the medical questions page that I mentioned at the beginning of the video, just shoot me an email at doug@ufesonline.com. For more information about our remote final expense sales platform, the one where you can get like 20 to 30 appointments plus per day on average, if that's what you want, just shoot me an email at that same address. As always, when you put the needs of your clients first, everything else will usually fall right into place. Now, get out there or get your headset on, whatever you do. Make sure that you do something good for someone else today. Happy hunting.